Yo, you got to come see me live August 3rd. I'll be at the Wiltern Theater in Los Angeles. August 3rd, I'm at the Wiltern Theater with Adam Carolla. We are doing our thing August 3rd. Get tickets, balcony seats available. Pabst Theater in Milwaukee. I will be there August 16th. Come on, Wisconsin, rally. August 16th, Buzz Williams, Marquette Golden Eagle head coach. This is not a joke. This is not a gag. He will actually be on stage before me. Buzz Williams, Marquette head coach, will be there at the Pabst Theater August 16th. Come see me and Buzz. Are we playing Thursday? Buzz Williams will be in the house. August 17th, the very next night, Royal Oak Music Theater in Royal Oak, Michigan, Detroit, Birmingham, Bloomfield. Come on out, Detroit. I know your city's bankrupt, but you're not. Come on, pat those pockets and come on out and see me August 17th in Detroit at the Royal Oak Music Theater. Thanks, guys, very much. All my shows are meet and greet. I love you.
Put your name on it. Just put your name on it. That's all I say. Be a man or a woman. Put your name on it.
Well, I'd like to hear about it, potheads.
How the fuck you gonna know how to be great if you don't study greatness? Look at the game tape.
Donuts.
If you want a battle, it's either that you will or you won't.
You know, you're not a bad-looking man, Mr. Gals.
But you are, Blanche. You are in that chair.
There's something wrong with us. Something very, very wrong with us.
Yes. Welcome to my podcast. My name is Melissa Joan Hart. I'm here with my guest, Caroline Ray. Caroline, how are you?
How you doing?
Jonathan Lipnicki in the house. I already know the answer, I'm pretty sure. What Jerry Maguire sentence gets said to you every time people figure out who you are?
Well, why don't you guess?
The human head weighs 8 pounds.
Yes, you're right.
That's the one, right?
Yeah.
The other one is, I'm not comfortable sitting in your lap anymore, Jerry.
I get the human head one every other day, probably.
We're going to get into that a lot because you weren't the first kid that they cast.
Yeah.
You replaced some kid that was in the movie for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And at one point in Jerry Maguire, it's like a big ballroom of a hotel or a big giant atrium lobby of a hotel. And Renee Zellweger, they couldn't figure out how to cut the kid out because it was such a huge shot. Renee Zellweger is literally just leafing through a plant. They CGI'd a plant. Do you remember this?
I don't remember that.
For some reason, Renee Zellweger brings her child to the company, like the biggest thing the company.
Okay.
It's when he does the mission statement, and everyone's in the lobby, and they go, "How long you give him?" I give him a week.
Yeah.
And everyone's applauding.
Yeah.
And then the big wide master shot, Renee Zellweger's just like, I think I left my keys inside this giant plant. It's because that's where the kid was sitting. That was the
amazing.
only shot of the movie.
I haven't seen it in a while, but
they couldn't get the kid out.
Yeah.
We have to get a still photo. It's an obviously CGI plant.
That's great.
This should definitely be in like those websites like, how'd you miss it?
Yeah.
It's the 1500s, but everybody's wearing sneakers.
Yeah,
This is like continuity movies. Big Amazon episode. You guys have been destroying jmohr.com. I love it. Go to jmohr.com, click the Amazon banner, and I'm going to dedicate this show to Sean Shaler from Pelham, Alabama. Big fan of the podcast and Amazon. I now link to my Amazon Prime account through jmohr.com. That's all you got to do, you guys. You instead of having Amazon on your toolbar, you go to jmohr.com on your toolbar, click the Amazon banner. Anytime you want to buy stuff, go to jmohr.com. Sean continues, since then I made my first purchase. Wanted to let you know that it was a jar of True Fit and Hill Ultimate Shaving Cream. Apparently this is some serious shaving cream that is made in London for the royal family. I can't confirm if the Queen uses it. Since I live in Alabama, my life already closely resembles that of the British royalty, and shaving cream was the last piece of the puzzle, JJ. I really needed it to make it complete. Keep up the great work. Thanks, Sean Shaler, Pelham, Alabama. So thank you, Sean. A little joke for the guy.
Yeah.
Alabama, royal family. Hey, JJ, here's another one. Aaron Cook, Jonathan Lipnicki. You're going to start buying stuff through jmohr.com.
Yes, of course.
Get your antler spray.
Yeah, of course.
Hit that SWATs. Hey, JJ, I just clicked on the Amazon link to order some of those shoes that look like feet and have spots for all your toes. My wife says I'm a fucking idiot for buying them, but I put my name on it, goddammit. I love the show, and I jumped at the chance to help you keep it going. Keep it up, and come to Dayton or Cincinnati in Ohio already so I can see you live. Put your name on it, Aaron Cook. Jonathan Lipnicki, you are a huge fitness guy. Like, you're in great shape.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You ever wear those weird shoes with a slot for each toe?
Never. Not once.
Have you tried them on?
No.
Really?
No, I don't know. They freak me out.
I've had
weird.
They are weird. I see people when I'm running on the beach. People run past me with them on their feet.
Yeah,
and I'm like, really? This puts you over the hump?
I've always kind of been interested in getting a pair.
Matty Boy, you want some? At the real Hey Matty?
Yeah, kind of. I do.
And Jonathan Lipnicki's on Twitter at Jonathan Lipnicki.
Jay Lipnicki.
All right, Jay Lip. All right. Okay.
It's my rap name.
Jay Lip. You only got one lip. Chewed too much tobacco as a child actor. They took it off his bottom jaw. Just got one lip. Jay Lipnicki.
Yeah.
Lipni.
CKI.
Okay, good. You have freaked guests of this podcast out. Our good friend John Heffron, one of the winners of Last Comic Standing, was in a jiu-jitsu class, and right before he lost consciousness, he realized the guy choking him out was the kid from Jerry Maguire.
Yeah. John came by a few times. I think he's been traveling, right? Touring, but got to roll around with him, and I guess he didn't know, but right before he went to sleep, I told him how much the human head weighed. So
that's great. But John can fight. Like, John's he's one of those comics where, when some shit breaks out, you're like, fucking Heffron? Heffron's the real deal.
I guess he's done 11 or 12 years of Krav too. He was telling me he
didn't matter
he has
that
an
day,
extensive.
did it? He got choked out by.
Well, that's jujitsu. That's the thing I do. I think he had just started or hasn't been doing it for that long, but I've been doing it for 5 or 6 years.
What belt are you now?
I am a purple belt.
That's cool as hell. Now, did your head as a kid weigh 8 pounds? Because you look like you had a really big kid head.
I had a giant kid head. I grew into it a little bit, but yeah, it was it was big. Looking back, I had a big head proportionally.
Because now you have a totally normal head. You're a handsome guy like you. There's no reason you're not on Ant Farm.
Ant Farm.
Just a Nickelodeon show. I don't want to put you A-list yet. Kid actor. You got to get a little legit.
You gotta.
Drake and Josh, Sweet Life on Deck.
Okay.
Do you audition for those shows?
No,
or you choose your spots?
not at all. I audition for everything, but I haven't really gone in that direction. I've done a lot of independent films. I've done 5 films in the last 4 years, and I have a sci-fi channel movie coming out in September with the girl who was just in Sharknado, Cassie Skirbo. So that's fun. That was just ridiculous. So I've just been kind of just having a lot of fun.
Nothing took this country by storm.
It's crazy.
Princess Dies Deaf is second place to Sharknado. What's the sci-fi show?
It is. It's called Bering Sea Beast.
Oh my god! It's a series or a movie?
It's just a movie, but it was insane. I had the opportunity to do this, and I was just like, you know what? It's ridiculous, but I've never done anything like this in my life, so I'm gonna go do it.
Well, it's not. Well, first of all, why would you? I'm not saying that derogatorily.
Yeah.
I did Pluto Nash, but also Bering. I'm guessing Bering Strait.
Yeah.
Not a lot of Bering. Where is the Bering Strait? Alaska.
Alaska.
Okay,
This
I
takes
thought
place
so. I'm
in
like, no, that's
Alaska.
Aleutian, dummy. No, I'm right. So you're up in the Alaskas. You're in Alaska. You're in the Aleutian Islands in the Bering Strait. All of a sudden, the water's not moving the way it should move. It's not a school of blue fish at all. It's a goddamn shark. It's a killer whale. Turns out it's not. It's none of the above.
It's a beast.
It's Tara Reid's exposed tit on the red carpet, and it's taking prisoners. It's a sea beast.
Yeah, a sea beast.
Now you're in it start to finish. They don't drag you underwater in the first 10 minutes.
No.
What happened to the kid with the huge head?
I mean, I don't want to. Couldn't swallow the head; it was too big. But
that'd be great. Sea beast just chokes him back up. He lives and saves everybody.
But yeah, I'm in it towards the end. I play a gambling addict.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was a really interesting role. It's really funny because this one I got offered. They just came to me and they offered it to me, and I'm like, I don't know how I came up in a conversation about gambling addicts or guys who, go deep sea gold diving. I don't know how, but hey, I got a job and it was fun. So
I want to know how a gambling addict turns up at the end of a movie about a beast that lives in the Bering Sea.
I don't know, man.
You don't?
Gamble.
You didn't win the whole...
Gamble. No,
I didn't read the script, bro.
I didn't know.
Offer.
Yeah,
Why would I read the script?
I didn't know what I was doing at all. I want to keep it a secret.
Oh, okay.
But I do. I mean, all I'll say is I do survive.
Bering Sea. Don't ruin it for me. Bering Sea beast.
How do you know I'm not lying, though? I could be lying about that.
That is true, because you do have a poker face.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Jonathan Lipnicki, when I talked to you on the phone and we texted back and forth, I said, is there anything specifically you want to promote? And you were very emphatic. I want to promote that I am still acting.
Yeah, because it's
so sweet.
It could be annoying. Like, I was listening to the thing you did with Billy Baldwin.
Yeah.
And, you do these independent films. And that's how it is right now. They're not making as many studio films. You do these independent films. You're like, wow, I'm really proud of my work. And then 5 people see them. And I can brag that the 5 people who have seen my work really liked it. But still 5 people,
You and I did an episode of Monk together.
That was fun.
It was super bizarre. Like, I'm coming in, and you were like a troubled teen handcuffed to a desk in the police precinct. And they go, do you know Jonathan Lipnicki? I'm like, yeah. And then I proceeded to... Do you remember how our conversation went?
Is this your drug of choice conversation?
Yeah, I was completely convinced that you were like a DUI, crack house, like crazy kid actor.
And I thought you were joking.
Crazy. And I'm like, come on, you can tell me. Like, what was when you were using? You're handcuffed to a desk.
Yeah.
And I just sit down, chair backwards, like an actual cop. Even though, like, in hindsight, it's the most surreal thing. I'm like, what was when you were using? What was your drug of choice? Like, even in the past tense, in case you were still using, you could bullshit me.
Yeah, exactly.
And I could make, I know how to talk to the addict. Like, the addict, oh, sure, he thinks I'm sober, cool. And you were like, I'm not sure what you're talking about. And I would not.
Yeah, so I told you because I thought you were joking. So I just said, if you remember, I was like meth because I thought you were joking.
Like, yeah.
And you're like, that's a rough one. And and then I was like, oh my God, I think he really thinks I'm a drug addict. And I was like, no, I mean, I've never been in trouble at all. You're like, no, I heard about you.
I'm like, you know, come on.
Yeah,
I just said, I know.
Yeah.
Like, I just kept going.
Yeah.
Like when you're just talking to a drunk chick and you're like, just, you know what I mean? Come on.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And you are the one child actor that just maybe that's why you're not in the bigger movies, because you need to go out there and get yourself a DUI. Just put yourself into a pole on the way out of here.
You got it.
I got some vodka left over from Greg Proops. Just chug it out and just drive your car onto the football field at Pally High.
That's a nice football field. I wouldn't want to do that.
Carl Lewis track too. So you never got in any trouble. And my wife and I had this conversation. Like, he had a DUI, and I typed in Jonathan Lipnicki DUI, and it comes up Jonathan Lipnicki DUI, Haley Joel Osment, because you and Haley Joel Osment, I see dead people.
Yeah.
Who I worked with.
Yeah.
I worked with all the great kid actors, Matty Boyle. You know what I mean? I was with him in Pay It Forward.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And the Jeff Foxworthy show.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to brag. He got a DUI.
Yeah.
So you guys come up because you're in the same book about kid actors.
Yeah.
When you were a kid actor, how old were you in Jerry Maguire? Oh, so just to keep the record completely straight, you've never been in any trouble. You're a square.
No. I mean, I just to bring it. I mean, obviously, bring it to light. Well, it was on TMZ and everything. I had just a restraining order against a crazy girl, but
that wasn't you.
But that wasn't anything I did. Yeah,
that was. And to your credit, you didn't like punch the chick out and say, "Get out of my apartment."
No,
you went about it the way
the proper way to protect yourself from.
Yeah, you had a crazy lady.
People. Yeah, exactly. So.
Allegedly.
Well, they always say.
I don't want if she listens, be like, I heard the podcast.
Yeah, it. Whatever. I wish her the best.
It's just, I think Jonathan Lipnicki, if you ask the average person on the street, they would assume that you were like a drunken mess.
Oh, yeah.
Is that just kid actor? Is that part of the course?
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard because they assume that, especially since I went away. I went to public school and I came back to start acting. They kind of wonder what happened, like, what sort of trouble I got into.
Not before you did Little Vampires, my man.
No.
You cashed in.
Yeah.
I like that. Vampires.
Yeah,
nice.
That one.
I like it.
No.
Yes.
You like that one?
What's not to like? The kid from Jerry Maguire's Little Vampire?
Man.
Better than fucking Teen Wolf 2. You didn't do that.
Yeah, but
I'd way rather watch Little Vampires than Teen Wolf 2.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
And I'm a werewolf guy. I mean...
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm down with
Yeah.
the strength of the pack is the wolf, man.
Yeah.
Where'd you go to public school?
Out in Agora Hills.
So you're in LA.
Yeah,
Now, does everybody in a public school, they know what you did, they know who you are, and it's nonstop?
Yeah, it was worse in middle school because I think kids are just generally terrible people at that age.
Yeah.
High school really isn't that bad. I don't know why everyone puts such an emphasis on how their high school was bad. Middle school is terrible. High school is fine for me. Middle school, it was a bunch of elementaries fed into this one school, and people were, nonstop to the point where they wanted to give me my own table next to like the kid who was allergic to peanuts, and I just refused. I'm like, I don't care how much they bug me. I wanted to just be normal, and
What do you got against kids allergic to peanuts? Aren't you just as bad a bully? What about the peanut kid? Doesn't he need a friend? And what better way to shove it up those bullies' asses than have the peanut kid have the only celebrity friend?
Yeah.
The peanut kid's got a celebrity friend.
Yeah.
Now the peanut kid right now is like hanging from a shower stall at a Motel 8 on the 10.
It's terrible.
Well, I don't know who he is. It's just hypothetical
but,
in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, it was rough. It was rough, but I guess, it's rough for most kids.
Yeah, but most kids like smoke crack to get over it, and you didn't. Like somehow you must have like rock solid parents would be my initial guess.
They're really good parents, and they told me it's nothing to be embarrassed about. You got to do movies and you have a normal life. It's the best of both worlds, and I got to do that. I did youth league basketball and baseball, and started martial arts early, and then in high school I played for the water polo team, and I love sports, and I got to be totally normal guy, and I had a good group of friends where I live, but also I think I was really lucky because growing up in LA, like a lot of people have parents in the industry and they were more understanding. But I mean, it could be rough, but it was what it was, and it gave me really thick skin, which is good for what I do now.
How old were you in Jerry Maguire?
I turned 6, I believe, on set.
Do you have any idea while you're doing it, like, I'm in a movie with Tom Cruise? Like, you don't know who Tom Cruise is at 6, right?
My parents showed me Top Gun, and so that's all I knew, and
that's pretty cool.
So I was really into that. But, I mean, I didn't know that it would be a big deal at all.
But you obviously, I'm guessing, so it's not obvious at all.
Yeah.
Hypothetically, you had done acting. You were a child actor from the age of, like, 3?
4.5, I started acting classes, and I think 5 is when I got Jerry Maguire. I think I did, like, 3 commercials, and then I got Jerry Maguire.
So you know that I play make-believe?
Yeah.
Grown-ups are you're probably not even aware that much of money?
No, I just really liked doing it. I went to acting class, and I told my mom that's what I wanted to do. There's something about it was just so much fun.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
and I mean, it still is, but...
Mamet says it's so good and true and false. Like, kids play make-believe for free on the playground. If you go, let's play Macbeth, no one asks, like, well, where are we going to... Just one kid gets to the top of the slide and goes, I'm Macbeth. That's it.
Yeah.
But do you know what acting is, or is it like a make-believe class? Did your parents do not baby talk, but did they talk to you age appropriate, or were you aware at 5 years old, I am acting, this is a source of income, or is it just I don't know, I like playing make-believe?
Never the source of income thing. My parents really never even really talked about that, but it was more like I had to push them because my mom had worked in the industry. And was like, no way my son's going to do that, because of all the other child stars before me. And after every movie I even did as a kid, they would ask me, you sure you're having fun? That's what you want to do? And I would turn down projects if it were Little League season and different stuff like that. So, I mean, I had really good parents who were kind of just like, well, if it's fun, do it. And I don't really know. I mean, I'm trying to remember if I knew exactly what I was doing. I just kind of did it.
My wife acted at a super young age, and then like at 9, she was like Paul Abdul, hey baby. She was like a kid. She was a kid. She was like a kid dancer too.
Oh, okay.
Like she was in the kid Thriller videos. Like she worked with Michael Jackson, Paul Abdul, and her like were really good friends. And she worked with Rob Lowe on something. She was in the Ryan White Story when she was like 8. But she loved, I'm bringing it back to you quickly. She didn't necessarily like any attention as Nicole Avery Cox, but she loved attention as playing somebody make-believe.
Yeah.
Like
I
if
mean,
I could
totally
be
relate to
Janet
that.
Donner
Yeah.
and I could be missing and like a whole movie of the week about where's this little girl,
Yeah.
that's what she dug about it.
I totally
but that's
relate to that. Yeah.
high-functioning thinking for like a little kid.
Yeah, I mean, I was also shy. I mean, it's weird because I was shy in certain places, but on set I felt comfortable. And even to this day, like public speaking, way harder for me than going in doing theater or an audition. Or
Now, when you're playing Ray and Jerry Maguire, is it like, okay, I'm Jonathan, I'm shy, and then when I'm Ray, it's like putting on the Ritz. Like all of a sudden, you put on a show, and you know you're making grown up. I guess
I was that way, like
Yeah.
generally, but in front of strangers, I guess I could be shy like any other 5-year-old.
I guess it's a long form question of
Yeah.
were you aware of the fact that you're putting on a show making grown ups happy?
I was aware that I was doing something like making believe. I never really thought of it as, I guess, making grown-ups happy.
Okay.
But I definitely knew that I was making believe, and I knew it made me happy, and I knew I had fun doing it, and I felt pretty at ease doing it, and it was so much fun for me that I just looked forward to going to set every day.
And you were not aware like money.
No, not at all.
You never looked up at your dad like, I'm getting paid, man.
No,
Yo, why don't you mow the lawn, old man?
never. I mean, I really,
Look at these checks, pa.
I never, they never really put a huge emphasis on that.
And you got brothers and sisters?
I have a sister who's 25.
So that's got to be where when your little baby brother becomes one of the
Yeah.
like a cultural phenomenon.
Yeah, she was a really good sport, and my parents were really fair. It wasn't like I ever got favored or anything.
All right. Tell me and tell the listener of more stories. Jonathan Lipnicki, of course, played Ray and Jerry Maguire. Jerry O'Connell was on.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of people on that have worked with Tom. I've told my Tom stories.
Yeah.
I cannot say enough. This guy is one of the most uber present, kind, amazing, I want to be like this person people. No one has come close in my lifetime. No one.
Yeah.
Was that your experience?
Yeah, and I mean, I'm still in contact with him.
Can you get him on the podcast?
What?
Can you get him on this podcast? I reached out
Try,
to his, I never get a message
Oh
back.
yeah,
I'm his publicist. No, I don't have his number. So you guys are still in contact?
Yeah, just through email. But I met up with him last year because I just wanted advice. I was like, I'm doing this, and this is a guy that has had control over his career for so many years. And I cold called his office because I was like, what do? I don't have Tom Cruise's number. And I got a response, and we coordinated it and went to his house and sat on his patio and just kind of talked. And it's amazing for some. I mean, it's weird how famous he is. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And
That's for the listener too. It's like I can't go to Tibet famous.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, I mean,
like if you walk out of a cave in Tibet, people are going to actually Eddie Murphy's the same way. They're going to jump on you.
Yeah.
Like they're going to ride you.
It's insane, but yet he took the time, and actually more time than they wanted to give me, because he has handlers, whatever.
Everything's scheduled out.
They had a set schedule, but they came to ask Tom, you got to leave soon, and he's like, no, 15 more minutes, and he just gave me all this great advice, and a lot of his advice about acting was being kind to other people and being on time and being polite, and that's just how he always has been.
Yeah.
And that was my first experience with him. I got the job as you said, I replaced some other kid, and I'd actually already auditioned, but I auditioned for an associate. I didn't audition for the casting director, and then they wouldn't see me. They just refused to see me. I was on a list of people who had already auditioned. They wouldn't see me. My agent at the time said, don't see anyone else in this whole agency. See this kid. I have Ray Boyd sitting in my office right now. I stake my reputation on it. See him. And they're like, fine. So I go in there and I read for the casting director. And
Gail Levin.
Yes. And she says, how would you like to go on a plane today and go meet Tom Cruise and read for him and Cameron Crowe? And I was like, yeah.
Wait, what town were you in?
I was in LA, and they were doing that whole football thing in Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah. And
yeah.
I left that day, and I went and I waited for Tom in his trailer, and my mom came with me, and I read for Tom, and he was just warm Tom, and then he's like, well, you guys know how I feel. And, up to Cameron, and he, left, and they made the decision.
What I noticed about Tom when I auditioned is, and I don't know if I wrote it, I've said on this podcast, he tried to beat my brains in with the scene.
Yeah.
Like, we were shooting that scene at that moment, and the audition scene was like, I'm firing this fucking guy.
Yeah.
And he was off book. It's 2 months before production.
Yeah.
He was eating his lunch in Cameron Crowe's office. I walk in, we shook hands, a little bit of small talk about wrestling, a little bit of New Jersey, Glen Ridge, Verona, a little rivalry, a little goofing off.
Yeah.
And then we sat down and we started, and it was like, they're throwing 98 miles an hour. Oh, okay, I thought it was batting practice. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And you can see how many people don't get jobs when they're up against that buzzsaw.
That focus is crazy. I've never seen that type of intensity. I haven't met anyone else like that ever.
I haven't either. And a lot of he's got so many detractors from jumping on a couch on Oprah, and I think Scientology, people knock him down a lot, obviously, because of Scientology. And people will go like, well, he's nice because that's Scientology. That's the game. They remember. Well, he knew everyone's name on set.
Yeah,
that's the game.
Yeah.
That's Scientology. It's a whole way of playing everything like a marionette. I'm like, okay, but it worked, and like it taught me, who's a Catholic, when I'm on a set, to remember the jib guys. Ethan and this guy and these guys, and be nice. And they work. I remember Tom like, you should hang up your clothes. These wardrobe girls really bust their butts. They come in real early and they stay real late. Just hang up your shirt when you're done. Like little things like that where you're like, oh my gosh, it is amazing. Like that audition, he tried to destroy me.
Yeah.
And it was just a moment of, oh hell no, like this, like realizing it.
Yeah.
But as a kid, your audition was like real sweet stuff.
Yeah.
And my favorite lines in Jerry Maguire, I would say, half of the ones I can cobble together that are my favorites are the ones that you and him have.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
That's got to be a weird relationship for a 6-year-old, 5 and 6-year-old kid. Like there's this, you have a dad obviously that you love, but any kid, like a coach or anybody, all of a sudden there's this other guy, this alpha male who's the kindest man you've ever seen. And people flock to him like that. Did that mess your head up at all?
No, I think it really just helped. It helped because when there's that scene where I'm in the U-Haul and me and Renee are moving and, I tell him to go ahead and go. I didn't need anything. A lot of times they tell kid actors, they're like, your dog died or something crazy, But for me, it was, no, Tom's leaving. And I loved the guy so much that it was like, Tom's leaving. And that was, and that was enough right there. Because he was such a great guy, and I was like, I just thought he was the coolest guy in the world. I still think he's the coolest guy in the world.
And as a 6-year-old, you knew, and I'm just super impressed as a kid. I don't know anything about kid actors except for what my wife did, and that's, you knew as a 6-year-old in this scene, Tom's moving away.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be sad.
Yeah.
Like they didn't go like, no, Tom's really leaving.
No, they
like Shirley Temple. They tell her like, your mom. We just got to call your mom's dead, and they'd go film, and she just cry like, but I don't know why. That shit really went down.
That's terrible.
Like Judy Garland all railed out on coke from the studio, like, just cape her up, make her nuts. But you just knew to act.
I just knew that someone I liked. I mean, it was simple terms. It was someone I liked, and if I could imagine that I'm never going to see this guy again, and it's someone that I really cared about, that just hit me.
I think he's really underrated, and I have debates about this with people. Like Vanilla Sky, I'm like, do you realize how hard it is to act a little crazy? Where only like your best friend goes, can I talk to you for a second? But the rest of society doesn't really notice anything. Like that's pretty, and to act with a mask on in Vanilla Sky. Yeah. And the thing, what I loved, you two, like it chokes me up every time, and I don't know why Cameron made it a shot of the outside of the house.
Yeah.
But when he's drunk in the living room and he goes, my dad worked for the United Way. I think it's United Way for 35 years. And you know what they told him when he retired? You know what he told him when I retired? I wish I had a more comfortable chair. Like, that's such an amazing line of a guy whose life is washed with regret, and I don't ever want to be like that old man. And then you just go, my dad died. And he goes, hold on, I want to finish. You know what? I'm hogging it. You're right. And you guys are talking. It's why I love Rushmore, because there's no... The movie Rushmore, there's the grown-ups and the kids talk exactly the same. And in that one scene, he's just drunk enough where you guys talk exactly the same.
You're communicating. I mean, it's not
amazing.
like it's not like an adult to a little kid.
It's so beautiful and perfect. And I don't think people realize, like, Cameron and Tom and you, like, everyone hit it out. It was great. And I'm just saying, it was a great job.
Thank you.
And it's even weirder when it's a 5-year-old kid. Like, my dad died, like, just the way you blurted out. And then when you hear your mom, time for bed.
Yeah.
You know, you're asking me in trouble. It's just like getting high at your parents' house. Well, you wouldn't know. It's like when you get high at like someone's house, you're like, we got to go, dude.
Right. I know about that.
Said the guy in the fucking Mets hat.
No Mets.
All-Star game at Shea, dude.
There you go.
You know what I remember about filming in Phoenix at Sun Devil Stadium was this is the weirdest thing. Getting in the Teamster van, because, you know this. The Teamsters will take you in white vans to and from set, even if it's like 40 feet. Just get union rule. You got to get in. 110 degrees. Air conditioning, full blast. For some reason, all the windows down in the van. I don't know why, but I think about it every time I'm in Arizona. This is where those Teamsters, and they got their arm out the window, and everyone's just in the van, like, because people in the back, like the wardrobe people, are like, "Oh my God, I'm dying. I think I need something to drink. Give me a moist rag." And the Teamster just had the air conditioning cranked on his body with the windows open. That's weird, right?
Yeah.
Smoking.
No, you can't smoke around. That's
right. So maybe he snuck one. They need to air out the windows, air out the van.
I never even thought about that. That's a weird thing.
That's the only time I keep the windows down and the AC on is if it's 100 degrees and I need a cigarette.
All right. So the Bering Sea Beast is on the Sci-Fi Channel, and I hope that trends. I'm sure you do too, like Sharknado.
Yeah.
But hopefully not for it's that much. Did you see it yet?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I.
And also, what's something like? Give us some of these indies you're in, because I want to watch them.
I just did a little cameo.
No, I don't want any cameos.
No cameo. This one's cool though.
Okay.
It's with Danny Trejo. I have a fight scene with Danny Trejo.
That's nice.
See, I mean, it's a cameo, but that's like my actor bucket list right there. Working with that guy. It's called Badasses.
Okay, I'm writing this down. Isn't it amazing how long it takes to do a fight scene?
Yeah.
When you do, I had one with Keanu. Let me pick that up. Sorry, I dropped his name right here. I had a fight scene with Keanu Reeves in Street Kings, and it takes like 3 fucking days just to take the fight from the middle of the room to the window where your elbow hits the window. And then you go, oh, that's why they make so much money. Like, I think of Uma Thurman in Kill Bill, and I'm like, I hope this bitch got paid $50 million fucking dollars, because I'm standing on the set of Ghost Whisperer, and I'm like, this is bullshit. I gotta walk across again. I gotta make this walk, and she's like swinging fucking swords. Did the fight ever get to the ground with you and Danny Trejo?
Didn't get to the ground.
So that's too bad. Fight goes to the ground. He taps out.
Exactly.
Actually, he doesn't tap out. He doesn't get a chance. You should probably put a triangle bar across his arms. Pin him, right?
Yeah. Well, how do you know triangle's my thing?
I just took a guess there, my man. So, Tom, I'm amazed that you called Tom Cruise cold and he saw you at his house. Like, that's pretty cool. I don't know if you ever want to be as famous where your day is that scheduled.
It just must be hard, and I just have so much respect for how he handles that. I mean, that would drive me crazy.
But you could also be that famous where you go, I told you guys, Tuesdays and Thursdays, I don't do shit. Right?
Yeah, but you know how much he works. I mean, he works so much. He's always, and especially lately, he's just had thing after thing after thing after thing.
Don't you, like, guys the size of Tom Cruise, it's almost like every Reacher and every Mission Impossible 3 and 5 and every other, like, huge Mission Impossible, all that stuff, you're kind of like, you know what? Why don't you do the Tannenbaums? Like, why don't you just do a nice independent, just show up, be, like, quiet, do something like the Ice. I'm being serious. Yeah. Like, do, like, the Ice Storm. Because it's in there.
Yeah.
You don't have to be hanging off a cliff.
Yeah.
I know that's where the revenue comes.
Yeah.
But don't you think he's to the point of revenue? He's to the point of no return. Like, you
Tropic
can't.
Thunder.
Tropic Thunder was great.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about like a little like Mark Ruffalo in Kids Are All Right.
Right.
Like just come on in and just be the guy or like Alec Baldwin and Meryl Streep in that movie where they fall in love with Steve Martin. Like I want him to see him do that.
That would be really cool.
And he could totally do it.
Yeah.
All right. So did you go to Alaska to film Bering Sea Beast?
Louisiana. Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, really, when you're scouting locations and you have to just drive around in a van and take still photos of locations that look like the Bering Strait of Alaska, Monroe, Louisiana, it's fucking crazy, Matty.
But we were dressed like we were in Alaska, layers on layers on layers on layers.
Oh.
Yeah. And the bugs, man. The bugs in Louisiana. It's crazy. Like I had I think I had like 10 in a row just down my chest one day when I got home. Like they got through layers of clothing.
Really?
Yeah. It was insane.
What do you think is worse? What's worse for you, in the heat or in the cold, acting for long periods of time?
Heat.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm total opposite. Like the cold, I'm all shivering. And you got to suck on ice cubes. You know this.
Yeah.
But, if you're cold in a movie and you can see your breath, you can't see your breath in a movie because you're supposed to be in like fucking Las Vegas in June. So you got to suck on ice cubes and they go action. You spit the ice cube out and talk. So like it's 20 degrees and you're sucking on ice cubes to help the production.
I don't know. That just never
silks.
bugged me as much as just being drenched. It just bugs me.
But you grew up here. There's no humidity. I guess being in Jersey with the humidity, the heat.
Yeah,
maybe like I have like nostalgia about it.
It's terrible. I hate because we had both actually. Because during it was a few months ago. During the day it was really hot, and then it would get cold at night. And I just was like, I'm cool with this. I'm cool with the shooting all night, it being cold, whatever. I'll warm up. But I just am so sensitive to heat that I was just drenched and just like. Couldn't take it.
Well, that's good. You played a degenerate gambler, so it probably fit the look, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, serious.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you didn't really see it because I had so many layers on. It's not like they just would come by and just wipe my face because I'd just be. And you were the one who told me to use Degree. I don't know if you remember this.
I don't.
I was sweating a lot on set. You're like, use Degree, man.
Wait. Oh, on Monk.
On Monk, yeah. I was just drenched. I don't know. Maybe I was nervous or something.
Degree works.
Yeah. When I go through these phases where I sweat a lot, and Degree doesn't work then, but it works. I mean, most of the time.
I never heard of anybody that goes through
I go through these phases. I swear, where I just sweat a lot.
That's called cocaine. It's Bering Sea Beast. What else do we have, Lipnicki? Help us here. You want people to know you're still acting.
Yeah.
All right, we got the sci-fi show movie, Bering Sea Beast. Mm-hmm. When is that on?
That should be September. They haven't given me an exact date
in
September.
We're going to keep our ears perked up for that. And something tells me if all they have to say is from the people that brought you Sharknado.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding. Bering Sea Beast.
Yeah.
It'll trend on Twitter. And everybody will pile on and go, that was the kid from Jerry Maguire.
Yeah. It's a sci-fi channel. It's definitely something different. I got to do a lot of action in it. Drive boats and scuba dive. And
you get the scuba dive?
Yeah.
Were you registered before?
No.
Why are you laughing?
Just the way you said scuba dive.
Because I'm like, look, when I did Street Kings, the director, David, goes, hey, could you put on 18 pounds of muscle? Like, that's all you want to hear your whole life, right?
Yeah.
As an actor, like, oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Like, oh, here we go. I'm in.
Yeah.
And you do it. And you just roid out, allegedly, whatever. And then, like, all of a sudden, if you do a movie and they're like, we need you to be certified scuba because we're going into the Gulf of Mexico. Like, what's cooler than that? So fuck you.
Skydiving, I guess.
Fuck that.
They actually taught me.
To skydive?
No, to
skydive into the scuba?
Yeah, you got excited. No, for the scuba diving. Relax.
You skydived into your scuba set.
Yeah.
Because it was a deep, deep dive.
Yeah.
They taught you to scuba for the movie?
Yeah.
How long does it take to get certified?
I didn't really technically get certified. They just taught me.
So were you breathing in tanks?
Yeah.
Well, you could die. You could blow your lungs up.
They taught me. I learned it.
They could certify you like the pool in Cancun.
Yeah, that always freaked me out. Like, just come out. Yeah. Oh, my God. You'll love this story. You will love this story, Matty boy. At The Real Hey Matty, at J Lipnicki, at J Mohr 37. My manager has been on this podcast like 50 times, man. That's the thing with Jonathan Lipnicki. He was undeniable. We're in Playa Blanca, Mexico, and he goes, I'm going to go out to the reef and go scuba diving, man. He's a big scuba diver. And I go, all right, that seems cool. And he goes, why don't you come with me, man? I go, because I don't know how to scuba dive. He goes, you don't have to know how to scuba dive, man. Just go out there and wing it. So I'm on a boat for an hour and a half all the way out in the middle of the ocean, the Pacific Ocean in Mexico. And they're like, all right, pick up your ESB CAC 5 regulators. And everyone just starts digging through bags and pulling shit out. And I'm just like, I don't even know.
Yeah.
In my mind, I can't even piece what that might stand for.
Yeah.
And the guy goes, what's the problem? Just zeroes in on me. He goes, what's the problem? I go, I didn't hear you. And he goes, take out your BS S-Pack S5 regulators. I go, I don't know what it is. And he goes, who brought you out here? I go, that guy right there. And he goes, just have a seat. They scuba dove for 3 hours. I'm hungover. I'm just drifting out in the ocean on a boat. And it's an hour and a half back. I'm like, Katz, you're an asshole. He goes, I just didn't think it would be that difficult. All you gotta do, they didn't let you swim around? No. I'm not swimming around.
Swim around.
But isn't that what's creepier than swim? All right, swimming at night in the ocean is very creepy. But you know what's creepy is swimming in the day with 60 people 10 feet under you. Yeah. At any moment, they could just come up that would be like the Bering Sea Beast, bro. See how I tie it all together? What other shows are you doing? Because you were very adamant about this, and you were very fun, and you're cool, and I want people to get off your fucking shit if they're on your shit. I was on your shit. I'm like, what was your drug choice? What you doing? I cornered him. He's handcuffed.
What were you doing?
Meanwhile, I was 212 sweating. I had the Vicodin sweats at 212, and the set of Monk so what are you doing, bro? I was coming to you to see if I could fucking score. And you said meth, my eyes lit up. I was going to suck your dick right there.
Yeah, so, oh man, I just hit my head on the mic because,
you're a tough guy, dude.
I have a film I'm starting next month called Fringes, and that should be a fun one, kind of a shoot 'em up.
That's great.
I play a drug and sex addict in this one.
Why do you keep playing different addicts?
I don't know.
Drug addict, sex addict. Next, you're going to be a video game addict.
Yeah.
Not now, ma! But I get, what's funny though is that's all actors want to play.
Yeah.
When I jump back in, I'm like, I wish I played an addict. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Gambling addict, some degenerate just scratching his neck at a roulette table. And that's called Fringes. Don't you hate when you tell your friends what movie you're in and they go, oh, wow, who else is in it? You're like, me, dick. I just told you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm in it. That's the news.
And
okay, Michelle Rodriguez, are you happy? Yeah. I don't know who she is. Who else?
The worst part about it, I'd say, is when you have something and you're not sure if it's going to come out like a wide release or it's going to be a small release, and your friends are like, "Is this like a legit one, like in theaters?" You're like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, no,
it's legit if it's not in theaters. I did it.
Have you read Mammoth True and False?
I have not,
because it seems like right up your alley. Actors that won't he said there's an actor he knew that was offered to lead in a play in Chicago for, I think it was 8 weeks, and the guy wasn't going to go because he was going to stick around for pilot season. He goes, you just got offered a job to act, and you're going to stick around to not act. But you seem like a guy that likes to get after it.
Yeah, I do theater. Also, I'm doing a play right now out in L.A. called Lost Girls, and that should be starting in September.
Do you have a website where people can track you down?
I have to update it, but, www.jonathanlipnicki.com.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And so people can go see your play, and people can go see Fringes. Well, it's not filming.
It's going to be starting that, but.
And you and Danny Trejo with the big fight.
Yeah, and
badasses.
He was the coolest guy ever.
Yeah,
he's just so nice.
You want to know where I met Danny Trejo?
Where?
I got a call. This is really weird. I get a call I had a publicist at the time, back when I had publicist money. I had a publicist at the time, sweetheart, Julie Nathanson, amazing lady. And she goes, I got something, I got to run everything by you. She goes, do you eat Baja Fresh? I go, yeah, like all the time. She goes, they're opening one in Valencia. They'll give you a free pass for the rest of your life if you're just at the opening. Danny Trejo's going to be there. I'm like, all right, cool. I go up there, it's me and Danny Trejo. And KCAL 9 News, they're opening a Baja Fresh. This is craziest thing we've ever seen. First it rained. Now there's a Baja Fresh off McBean Parkway in Valencia. How you guys feel? Just love Baja Fresh. Back to you, Mike. Here's Steve. And I literally had a card in my wallet for free Baja that I've since lost, of course.
I had one of those for a year. I think it was a gifting suite, and I had my. Did yours come on a lanyard with a picture?
No, mine was. It was a Harley Davidson that said Baja Fresh on it. I just had to write it in.
Mine was a little like necklace, full on Baja Fresh necklace with
Soul Train laminate.
Yeah, and mine was only a year though, but. It was a great year. I went to Baja Fresh a lot.
What's the place Jeremy Guthrie has a lifetime a year pass? Oh, shit.
Chipotle.
Yes. How do you know that? Oh, we talked about it on the show. On J Moore Sports, the radio show. Pitcher for the Royals, buddy of mine, podcast veteran. He's got a Chipotle card where he just carte blanche. And then somebody goes, it was some actor they said has a lifetime Chipotle card. And I go, do you remember who it was? I don't,
not a fan.
But you remember the story vaguely?
I do.
Yeah. At the Real Hey Matty. And I go, that's impossible. They don't give them out for lifetimes. Because Jeremy Guthrie would have told me. Because he's a traveling pitcher. He's always on the road, and Chipotle you can rely on.
Exactly.
So I called him, and he texted me a photo of his year Chipotle card. So, but you had the year Baja Fresh laminate. Did you wear it in? Like the magnetic strip to get into the building after hours.
I'm pretty sure my sister wore hers. They gave her one too, and I'm pretty sure she wore hers. But me, I put it in my pocket. I didn't want anything to do with because I was going to wearing one. I was at my local Baja Fresh where I grew up, but that's just embarrassing. Everything's embarrassing when you're 13.
Especially when you're in a movie. Yeah. And they're like, this guy can't pay for a fucking quesadilla. That's why I've never done coupon. That's why I've never done do you want a punch card?
Yeah.
For the frozen Studio City frozen yogurt? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I do, but you never want to be the guy that somebody recognizes from a movie or movies, and they're like, oh, fucking 10th one's free. Yeah. Holding up the line while this asshole looks for his little clicker. Like, all right, 2 away, my man.
I think I was pretty discreet about it. I think I was just kind of pulled it. I was kind of like,
I don't do discreet real well.
I
don't do discreet real well. So your scenes with were Renee also cool,
amazing.
And what? And so when you auditioned with Tom, it was in his trailer. I mean, what scene was your audition scene?
I'm trying to remember that. Let's see.
Are you Jonathan Lipnicki?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not
it was
something
a
I would
long
think
time ago.
You remember a Baja Fresh laminate, but you forget your audition scene for the biggest moment of your life?
I think it might have been the couch scene.
My dad died.
Yeah, that one. But a lot of the lines were different because they changed them. They had one day I was on set and they had one of the PAs had me saying all these random facts, and some of them, some of that dialogue turned up in the car scene, and some of that dialogue turned up in the couch scene. Pretty sure.
They did that with me when he gets fired and we're running for the clients on the phones. I was just making shit up, and Cameron would yell from the corner, more money, more endorsement. I go, more money, more endorsement. And I was like, he's going to keep saying it. So I would do 8 in a row, more money, more endorsements, more money, more endorsements, more money, more endorsements, more money. And he goes, 1,000 channels, your face on every one of them. And I would just say 18 times. And then I would just go do you think Jerry Maguire knows what it's like to be a black person? And then you watch the movie and he's going, I love black people. They played Tom, my ad-libs. So he would ad-lib off of my ad-libs. And then it's neat to know that Cameron did the same thing with you. You would ad-lib and he would just pick.
Yeah, I was riding around on the golf cart and just on the walkie with Cameron. And they're like, say this. And then just the next day it was in the new rewrite.
Cameron's in the neighborhood too. The whole everyone but you from Jerry Maguire lives right around the corner from me.
Wow.
And Kevin Nealon.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to meet Kevin Nealon, I'll fucking walk
I met him once.
All right, well, that takes the sting out of it. JJ, this is from Roderick Gunner. JJ, love the podcast. It definitely helps me get through my workday. I love them all, but especially great when you have Barry Katz on. We were just talking about Barry Katz. Unfucking deniable, man. That's what he actually wrote. Anyway, just wanted to let you know I clicked on your Amazon link at jmoore.com, bought new curtain rods for around the house, and a wall mount TV kit for my bedroom. We all can't go Sarah Brady big, but most of us can go Roderick Gunner level and help out the podcast. Anyway, keep it up. Tell your wife she's phenomenal. Roderick Gunner. That was nice. Sarah Brady's a lady. Thank you, Roderick. Sarah Brady bought $6,000 of TVs and just emailed me, and now everyone knows they're all playing for a distant second from my heart for Sarah Brady. So jiu-jitsu, that's your passion. Acting. Do you want to get married? Do you want to have kids?
I'm not even thinking about it.
Not even.
No 22. Time? No, I'm just focused on work right now. Work and having
But see,
fun.
that sounds weird when a 22-year-old kid that takes jiu-jitsu and acts is like, I don't even think about it.
I don't know. I think it was honestly that conversation with Tom where he was telling me about, how a lot of young actors would go out and party and he was just focused on what he was doing next and what he wanted to do. And for me, that's been, it sounds as boring as it sounds.
It doesn't sound boring. It sounds almost like a robot.
I know. But I really...
What else? Yeah. I'm fascinated now by this conversation you had with Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Like, what else? Because he gave me cool advice. Yeah. What else did he tell you? And what was your... Hold on.
Yeah.
When you came to him, hat in hand, like, I need help here, bro.
Yeah.
What was it? What did you need help?
I just wanted to get might as well talk to him. That is
about what?
About acting and,
Were you not booking jobs? Were people just saying you're the kid from Jerry Maguire?
It can get in the way. Definitely, but
I guess in the way.
Yeah, but I think it's just that transition's really hard, and I just wanted to kind of know.
Super in your favor is you don't look at all.
Yeah,
I would never go. Is that the fucking kid from? Yeah. You don't. You look like a regular, like good looking dude. You could be in like One Direction, but with regular hair.
Thank you.
You look like a surfer guy, like the guys I see running barefoot on the beach. You look cool.
Thank you.
And I mean,
thank you.
I would tell you straight to your face, like you're a little weird looking. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Anthony Jeselnik was here the other night, and I'm like, I think he might be a serial killer. He had serial killer eyes. I think he'd be very flattered at that too. So you go to Tom and you ask him, like, what am I doing? How do I do this? And what is?
He just told me I was doing the right thing with just continue just auditioning and going to acting class. I go to acting class. So just about being polite to people and being on time and making sure, because he's like, I'm there. I'm there early. I stay late. I do whatever I can. And also creating my own stuff was a big thing for him. He inspired me and actually produced my first feature.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah.
What was your first feature?
It's called Broken Roads. It's on Netflix actually right now.
Why didn't you fucking say that a half hour ago? That's like the coolest story you could have told. Tom Cruise decided to produce your first feature?
No, he didn't produce it. He inspired me to produce a movie.
Oh, that's not as cool a story.
Yeah, that's not as cool. But I did produce a movie, and it was really cool. It was a great experience.
Did you play it as some type of gambler addict?
I wasn't in it. I just...
Oh!
Yeah, it was just one...
Production addict.
He was a production addict. I was a guy behind the scenes, just addicted to producing. See, that's hard to pull off. And did you use your Jerry Maguire cachet to get it off the ground? I'm being completely serious.
No, not really. The director was a really, really driven guy. He's only 20... he just turned 25.
So how do you produce? Isn't producing raising funds mostly?
Yeah, I put a little bit of my own money into it.
A little bit of that Sherman Oaks Basketball League money you want on the side?
Yeah.
Or where would you go? Agora Hills? Where was it?
Yeah, I grew up in Westlake, went to Agora High.
That Agora High money? You got from rolling dice in the corner?
Exactly.
With all the other hoods?
Saved some of my lunch money.
Yeah.
And I produced
Broken Roads?
Broken Roads.
On Netflix.
Yeah.
No, hey, let me give you can I come to me for advice right now?
I will. What? Give me some advice.
When you're on a podcast and you produced a movie, promote that one.
Okay, cool. I will.
We can talk about the Bering Sea Beast.
I think it's great.
I think it's great too.
Yeah.
But if I produce a movie and because that's what's going to pay you in perpetuity.
Yeah, exactly.
And you prove that you can produce something of merit. Mm-hmm. That's what I would have done.
Yeah. One of the interesting thing is for the international rights, we had the company that bought it was. One of the executives at that company was a co-producer on Jerry Maguire.
Who was it?
His Paul Schofield.
I don't remember.
Yeah, there were a bunch of producers.
You have your shit together so much that I'm like fucking embarrassed. I'm gonna go to the Spectrum Club right now and just sprint. It would only be for like 4 minutes. Bad for your joints, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I
don't like running, man.
I hate running too, but I have a gut. What am I supposed to do? Deer antler spray.
Yeah.
Swim. Pool right down the street. You know what I do is I lay on the carpet. I make believe I'm swimming. Feels good on my middle parts. What?
I'm just thinking back to Jim Jeffries' podcast with this kid down the street with swimming lessons on the carpet.
When you talk about Tom giving you advice, I remember when I auditioned to fire him, for some reason when I practiced it in my home, and when I did the audition in the office, and then when I finally got brought to Tom, I sat in a way, like even if I'm just sitting here with you, I just sat in a way, and no matter how I was always looking down at you. There was just physically, like if you can imagine, like a dotted line that just on an angle, like if you're drawing a triangle, like a dotted line from my eyes to you, even if we're the same height, I just mentally, I always say that going down. And then like it's the scene. Yeah. And then we're in the restaurant, and it's like one of those big weird like TGA Friday seats, and my arms are up on the table, like I'm at the kids' table, and I go, oh no, and I'm like, I came here to fire you, Jerry. Like, I sounded like everything was off. It was terrible, and it was like the chair or the table like rocks back and forth. You know when you get that weird table that goes back, and we do like 3 takes, and they're like setting up a light. I go, can I ask you something? And he goes, yeah. What is it? And not like bullshit. Yeah. He is literally like, what is it that you need to ask me? Nicely. And I go, when I auditioned, my chair was higher and I was looking down, and he goes, Cameron, 30 seconds. I'm like sitting on an apple box on the chair. Yeah. And the table, like they just put like 8 Splenda packets under the table. And I go, thanks. And he leans real close and he goes, don't ever underestimate how important little things like this are. Don't ever underestimate it. Don't ever underestimate it. Ever. I was like, all right. Yeah. And then you cut to me on the set of like the Jeff Foxworthy show. Like, I said Diet Coke. Yeah. No, but it was like super. He knew I wasn't. It was my first movie. I wasn't going to speak up for myself. Yeah. But it did make all the difference in the world. You'll love this. When I'm firing him, it's his close up. Yeah. And it's from like his nipples up. Yeah. It's not quite super tight on his face. It's like from his pecs up. And I'm against the camera doing off-camera dialogue. And I guess I had just drifted like 8-10 inches away from the lens. Yeah. So his eye line was a little too far away. And as he's saying, you ungrateful, unctuous, he's pointing below, like a half inch below where the shot is. He knows where the shot is. And he's pointing for me to go back closer to the camera. And I'm like, what's he doing with his hands? I realize what he's doing. And I lean my head against the matte box. And he gives me a fucking okay sign. But he never stops talking. Wow. I want all my clients. Now I want yours too. And he gives me an okay, like, that's perfect now. It was amazing how cool this guy is. I'm cold calling Tom Cruise. Do it. That's how it works. Is he still at CAA? I did it. I did the United Artists office. You know what? I'm going to call Central Casting and say I'm looking for a Tom Cruise type. Yeah. And they'll send us the black and white night from medieval times. Oh yeah, I saw that picture. He looked, bro, in person. Yeah, he looked exactly same nose. Oh man, he looked exactly like. So you saw Robert Plant too. Yeah, it was a star-studded event. And the red night, I couldn't get a phone. Jonathan Lipnicki's being very sweet, calling us back at J Lipnicki #More Stories. Let him know you enjoyed listening to him. Me and Matty Boy took my son Meredith to medieval times, and we almost got thrown out stone cold sober. Yeah. And then when we realized why, like the different things, like banging pots and pans, like you can't do that. I look at Matty Boy and I go, well, we're not drunk. Like, why not? We're gonna leave early anyway. Right. So why not get tossed? Yeah. Like if banging the metal soup bowl against the metal plate is reasons to get ejected, let's get tossed. And what would they expect? Honestly, you give a metal bowl to drunken idiots with a handle on it, and a metal plate. I don't think what they count on is the 2 sober idiots, right? Of course, stone sober, the 2-year-old going, "You fucking suck," screaming, and the kid's going, "Phooey on you." The red night, so we were at Medieval Times, and I tweeted, the master of ceremonies looked exactly like Robert Plant in Song Remains the Same. And it brought back very fond memories, because I remember watching Song Remains the Same with like 8 friends in Boston on acid. and we were like, oh my God, Jimmy Page is Satan. It all makes sense now. Robert Plant's the good night. And then our black and white knight looked like Tom Cruise, and the picture I couldn't get off is the red knight looked exactly like Ben Foster.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I couldn't get a photo of the guy because like by the time I'm like, does this guy look like Ben Foster? And he was like walking by on his horse and giving us like, you know what's up? Like they talk shit.
Yeah.
If they know you're down, if they know you're having a good time, they're having a good time.
Yeah.
And so he's like, he's looking at us, and Maddie's like, you suck, Red Knight. And the Red Knight backs his horse up, points to the horse's ass, and points to Maddie. Like, he's funny, right?
Yeah.
And I go, it's fucking Ben Foster. Lights go out. I can't take a picture anymore. And I can't
man.
Red Knight, when you get a second, could you come over?
You did do that for Cruise, though, and he did give you the
well, he was. In all fairness, we were in his section. We were in the Tom Cruise night section.
Yeah. And he did give Gabby a rose, which was sweet.
Yeah, Matty Boy's girlfriend, Gabby, was the queen of love. No, she wasn't the queen of love.
No,
My wife, last time we went, we were in the black and white section, and the guy looked just like Mario Lopez. I mean, exactly. It is bizarro land in there, and I can't recommend it enough. Like, you gotta go. You been?
Yes.
What section were you in?
It was like a fourth grade
What the fuck
field
do you
trip.
remember? How do you not remember what section you were in? You cheer, you wear colors, you get pie-eyed
I'll
on
go with
mead.
blue section. Just,
No, you can't make it
just-
up. If you don't
just make
remember,
you
just say you
happy.
don't remember.
I don't remember. It was fourth grade.
Oh, well, shit.
But I did go. I
It's
just remember
the best,
the
right?
chicken on the beach.
It took me like 3 chickens in to realize, I haven't stopped eating this entire time. I'm going to die. I had too much meat at the Equinox Festival or something. So, Maddie, it's a Bill Murray. That's an old sketch. What happened to you? I guess I had too much. I was at the Festival of the Equinox. I guess I had too much meat or something. Maddie Boy is screaming at the Yellow Knight. He's telling him he sucks. He's a bum. The Yellow Knight does a U-turn and goes, "When you read your program, the Black and White Knight and the Yellow Knight are allies." And, like, what's more pathetic? Because let's not act like these guys aren't in the same acting class as you. Right?
Yeah.
You want to act.
Yeah.
They got to act.
Yeah.
They got to do stunts.
Yeah.
And now he's just getting hackled. By the way, we're in the black and white section, and this balloon head is wearing a Green Knight hat.
Knight, yeah.
He's wearing he demands a Green Knight crown because we wanted Green Knight section seating. They're like, all we have is upper deck for Green Knight. And I'm like, no, man, I called ahead. We're supposed to be right down low. And they're like, we don't like Jay Mohr, Jerry Maguire. Like, there's a certain time in your life.
the Jeff Foxworthy card.
Yeah.
I was season 2 on that.
Yeah, I tapped out. I got Jerry Maguire on the set of Jeff Foxworthy.
Yeah.
You did Jerry Maguire, then went to Jeff Foxworthy.
Exactly.
So he's heckling the Yellow Knight, and what's more embarrassing than the Yellow Knight actually going, I don't know if you know the history of the Black and White Knight and the Yellow Knight. It's steeped in tradition.
And trying to yell, too, because the crowd's noise. The crowd noise.
How angry was he about it?
He was heated up.
Like...
No, he was fired up. He was angry.
Man.
He was mad like that Matty Boy could be that ignorant to boo the Black and White Knight's best. Like, look at the map in your program. Down at the legend, it clearly states, I'm from Sardinia.
I'm building lumber.
Yeah. I'm a lumberman, and he's a man of the wood. I mean, we're obviously compatible.
Yeah.
Like, he's giving out all this data, and thank God our entire section just went, just pointed and yelled at him, like, get out of here, you idiot. And it turns out Ben Foster was the coolest knight in the whole place.
He was, yeah.
So if anybody at Medieval Times listened to this podcast,
Red Knight.
all of you suck compared to the Red Knight.
Red Knight was on point.
Red Knight was nuts.
Yeah.
His horse was doing sideways shit like Tokyo Drift. Like, it was amazing. You know what? They should do Tokyo Drift with horses.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
All right, let's put pen to paper after this podcast.
Well, he's the producer. Jonathan Lipnicki
All right,
he's the
there it
producer.
is.
Got it. Let me know.
Boom.
Child actor, never got a DUI.
Never got a DUI.
Have you smoked pot in your life?
I've tried it.
How many times? Over 10 or under 10?
Under.
All right.
Yeah.
Never tried meth?
No.
You ever woken up next to somebody dead?
No.
No. Why'd you laugh like that, though? Whoa. Have you ever rented an apartment to Natasha Lyonne?
No.
All right. Have you ever had a restraining order against a girlfriend?
She wasn't my girlfriend.
Oh, now we're splitting hairs here. Somehow, Jonathan Lipnicki, out of all the Bonaducci's, all the Amanda Byneses, all the kids that go, I mean, shit, Justin Bieber's walking around next to the Stanley Cup, no one goes, hey, I don't know if you know this, but you look just like Vanilla Ice. You kind of look like a dick. Don't do that anymore. Just wear regular clothing. For some reason, you've come out completely unscathed.
Public school.
That's impossible, public school. Public school, they pound
man.
you into the ground.
Public school. Just
That's
the
what
real,
ki- that's
the real
what-
world.
I kind of agree with. I understand his point.
Yeah.
Public school is what you couldn't finish.
Right. This is true. This is true.
Yeah,
but
I
I
think
mean, it brings a sense of reality to a kid's life who, in other circumstances, would be completely abnormal, and it brings, it normalizes the situation.
So you think if you went to like Crossroads and you were with like Denzel's kids and everybody's kids, you would have been a different path?
I think it's still different. I think it's definitely because that's not. I mean, I was with just normal kids. I have normal. I still have normal friends. I don't have that many like actor friends. I still have my normal friends from high school.
Name someone you wish you could play, a historical figure.
Steve McQueen.
Whoa.
It's a good pick.
I can't top that. Jay Lipnicki on Twitter. This was fun. Did you have fun?
I had a great time.
Come back anytime.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We'll come back. We're going to, you know what? I got a great idea, and I'm not joking. We were going to live tweet UFC on Fox because Brendan Schaub was on it.
Yeah.
A jiu-jitsu guy.
Yes.
But Matt Mitrione got hurt, and they just pulled his fight entirely. So now we're fucking live tweeting burying Sea Beast Warriors.
Bro, I would already be watching it. I would too. I love sci-fi movies.
I do too.
They're my favorite.
Well, I do too.
Well, I'll let you guys know when I get the exact date.
It's in September. It's Burying Sea Beast Warriors. We are going to live tweet Burying Sea Beast and make this thing a trending topic. We closer to the gate. I guess we'll just tweet about it and just hashtag more stories. Burying Sea. You got to hashtag Burying Sea Beast, don't you?
So it's a long hashtag.
It is a long hashtag. Sea Beast.
BSB.
BSB.
But that could be Backstreet Boys. So.
Oh yeah.
I hope so. Wait, what? I guess
Sea Beast.
If you just type, how does it work? If you just type Burying Sea Beast enough, that trends. Like you don't have to hashtag it to trend. Like if like Meta World Peace like takes a shit on the Statue of Liberty steps and people are tweeting about it, it's a trending topic. Only like 2 of the trending topics are hashtagged. It's like replace movie titles with the word milk. Milk and a Half Men. Like literally right now on Twitter, if you go to twitter.com, the dumbest shit is trending, and we love you, Selena. So we're gonna get Burying Sea Beast trending.
Yeah.
Fuck it. We'll just have to do it. Burying Sea Beast. You know, I guess sci-fi. That's what it is. At sci-fi.
Yeah.
Everyone at sci-fi when Burying Sea Beast is on, because sci-fi will be like, we're a hit. Look at all this traffic.
There you
This
go.
is great. All right, cool. Jay Lipnicki. This is great. Again, another great guest.
Thank you so much for having me.
Duff McKagan.
Love Duff McKagan.
Perry Farrell.
Okay.
Jonathan Lipnicki. Guest I've gotten.
That's a great.
That's it.
I'm honored, man.
You should be.
Yeah.
Those are good dudes, and
Yeah.
you're a good dude. And so you played everything cool your whole life. You're 22.
Yes.
You just. How long till you get the black belt? That's
We'll
when
see.
you. That's when
We'll
you come
see.
back.
It's
That's when
gonna
you come
be-
back.
yeah.
That's the motivation.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. You're gonna come back, and we're gonna pump up Burying Sea Beast because you're in it, and the human head weighs 8 pounds, and bees can smell fear.
Yeah.
Just great. Thank you, brother, very much.
Thank you.
Jay Lipnicki at Twitter, Jonathan Lipnicki, if you want to see his GeoCities website. You said it was pretty raggedy.
No, it's just not updated.
Is your play on it?
No.
Well, you might want to get that up on there.
Okay, I will get that
Because
up.
people are going to listen to this and go, oh, I would like to see a play.
Immediately.
They say there's no theater in L.A.
Yeah.
Because guys like you don't put it up.
Yeah.
At The Real Hey Matty and at JMoore37. This has been fun. Thank you very much. Enjoy your weekend. Put your name on it.
with us.
Yes. Welcome to my podcast. My name is Melissa Joan Hart. I'm here with my guest, Caroline Ray. Caroline, how are you?
How you doing?
Jonathan Lipnicki in the house. I already know the answer, I'm pretty sure. What Jerry Maguire sentence gets said to you every time people figure out who you are?
Well, why don't you guess?
The human head weighs 8 pounds.
Yes, you're right.
That's the one, right?
Yeah.
The other one is, I'm not comfortable sitting in your lap anymore, Jerry.
I get the human head one every other day, probably.
We're going to get into that a lot because you weren't the first kid that they cast.
Yeah.
You replaced some kid that was in the movie for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And at one point in Jerry Maguire, it's like a big ballroom of a hotel or a big giant atrium lobby of a hotel. And Renee Zellweger, they couldn't figure out how to cut the kid out because it was such a huge shot. Renee Zellweger is literally just leafing through a plant. They CGI'd a plant. Do you remember this?
Yo, you got to come see me live August 3rd. I'll be at the Wiltern Theater in Los Angeles. August 3rd, I'm at the Wiltern Theater with Adam Carolla. We are doing our thing August 3rd. Get tickets, balcony seats available. Pabst Theater in Milwaukee. I will be there August 16th. Come on, Wisconsin, rally. August 16th, Buzz Williams, Marquette Golden Eagle head coach. This is not a joke. This is not a gag. He will actually be on stage before me. Buzz Williams, Marquette head coach, will be there at the Pabst Theater August 16th. Come see me and Buzz. Are we playing Thursday? Buzz Williams will be in the house. August 17th, the very next night, Royal Oak Music Theater in Royal Oak, Michigan, Detroit, Birmingham, Bloomfield. Come on out, Detroit. I know your city's bankrupt, but you're not. Come on, pat those pockets and come on out and see me August 17th in Detroit at the Royal Oak Music Theater. Thanks, guys, very much. All my shows are meet and greet. I love you.
Put your name on it. Just put your name on it. That's all I say. Be a man or a woman. Put your name on it.
Well, I'd like to hear about it, potheads.
How the fuck you gonna know how to be great if you don't study greatness? Look at the game tape.
Donuts.
If you wanna battle, it's either that you will or you won't.
You know, you're not a bad-looking man, Mr. Gals.
But you are, Blanche. You are in that chair.
There's something wrong with us. Something very, very...
My life already closely resembles that of the British royalty, and shaving cream was the last piece of the puzzle, JJ. I really needed it to make it complete. Keep up the great work. Thanks, Sean Shaler, Pelham, Alabama. So thank you, Sean. A little joke for the guy.
Yeah.
Alabama, royal family. Hey, JJ, here's another one. Aaron Cook, Jonathan Lipnicki. You're going to start buying stuff through jmore.com.
Yes, of course.
Get your antler spray.
Yeah, of course.
Hit that SWATs. Hey, JJ, I just clicked on the Amazon link to order some of those shoes that look like feet and have spots for all your toes. My wife says I'm a fucking idiot for buying them, but I put my name on it, goddammit. I love the show, and I jumped at the chance to help you keep it going. Keep it up, and come to Dayton or Cincinnati in Ohio already so I can see you live. Put your name on it, Aaron Cook. Jonathan Lipnicki, you are a huge fitness guy. Like, you're in great shape.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You ever wear those weird shoes with a slot for each toe?
Never. Not once.
Have you tried them on?
No.
Really?
No, I don't know. They freak me out.
I've had
they're weird.
They are weird. I see people when I'm running on the beach. People run past me with them on their feet.
Yeah,
and I'm like, really? This puts you over the hump?
I've always kind of been interested in getting a pair.
Matty Boy, you want some? At
Kind
the
of.
real Hey Matty?
Yeah, kind of. I do.
And Jonathan Lipnicki's on Twitter at Jonathan Lipnicki.
Jay Lipnicki.
All right, Jay Lip. All right.
All right.
Okay.
It's my rap name.
Jay Lip.
I don't remember that.
For some reason, Renee Zellweger brings her child to the company, like the biggest thing the company.
Okay.
It's when he does the mission statement and everyone's in the lobby and they go, how long you give him? I give him a week.
Yeah.
And everyone's applauding.
Yeah.
And then the big wide master shot, Renee Zellweger's just like, I think I left my keys inside this giant plant. It's because that's where the kid was sitting. That was the
amazing.
only shot of the movie.
I haven't seen it in a while, but
they
never
couldn't get
that.
the kid out.
Yeah.
We have to get a still photo. It's an obviously CGI plant.
That's great.
This should definitely be in like those websites like, how'd you miss it?
Yeah.
it's the 1500s, but everybody's wearing sneakers.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
like continuity
Yeah.
movies. Big Amazon episode. You guys have been destroying jmohr.com. I love it. Go to jmohr.com, click the Amazon banner, and I'm going to dedicate this show to Sean Shaler from Pelham, Alabama. Big fan of the podcast and Amazon. I now link to my Amazon Prime account through jmohr.com. That's all you got to do, you guys. You instead of having Amazon on your toolbar, you go to jmohr.com on your toolbar, click the Amazon banner. Anytime you want to buy stuff, go to jmohr.com. Sean continues, since then I made my first purchase. Wanted to let you know that it was a jar of True Fit and Hill Ultimate Shaving Cream. Apparently this is some serious shaving cream that is made in London for the royal family. I can't confirm if the Queen uses it. Since I live in Alabama, you only got one lip. Chewed too much tobacco as a child actor. They took it off his bottom jaw. Just got one lip. J. Lipnicki.
Yeah.
Lipni.
CKI.
CKI. Okay, good. You have freaked guests of this podcast out. Our good friend John Heffron, one of the winners of Last Comic Standing, was in a jiu-jitsu class, and right before he lost consciousness, he realized the guy choking him out was the kid from Jerry Maguire.
Yeah. John came by a few times. I think he's been traveling, right? Touring, but got to roll around with him, and I guess he didn't know, but right before he went to sleep, I told him how much the human head weighed. So
That's great. But John can fight. Like John's he's one of those comics where when some shit breaks out, you're like, fucking Heffron? Yeah, Heffron's the real deal.
I guess he's done 11 or 12 years of Krav too. He was telling me he
didn't matter
he has
that day, did it?
extensive.
He got choked out by.
Well, that's jujitsu. That's the thing I do. I think he had just started or hasn't been doing it for that long, but I've been doing it for 5 or 6 years.
What belt are you now?
I am a purple belt.
That's cool as hell. Now, did your head as a kid weigh 8 pounds? Because you look like you had a really big kid head.
I had a giant kid head. I grew into it a little bit.